Howie Carr.
Who is your favorite actor?
Humphrey Bogart, no doubt about it. I love all the old Humphrey Bogart movies. Jimmy Cagney would be a close second.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
No celebrity crushes.
Ginger or Marianne?
I always was a Marianne person. Never was bowled over by that Hollywood look. Plus, Ginger was in more revealing attire, scantily clad.
Salty or sweet?
Neither, but if I have to pick, I'll go with sweet.
Movies or TV?
TV.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's, although I prefer Five Guys.
Facebook or Twitter?
Definitely Twitter.
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
That's not a good start, but keep going.
Folks, we want to nominate a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama Democrat.
What did he just say?
Stop. Pause. You can't be president. Stop. Pause. Pause. Listen, we can't play games here, folks. This is a really old man who can't talk. Like, this is not a joke.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
And there's a fundamental decency. I remember the kind of decency that he's carried with him, and I think will make such a difference in the White House.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Look, Fat, look, here's the deal.
Fundamental decency.
Oh, really? Define decent.
Who's your captain? Howie Carr.
The Iran hostage crisis was the final year of Carter's presidency. Not his fault, but it's a test in real time.
This may be Donald Trump's Katrina.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Unchained and unstoppable.
I've got time to do a little self-care. Hanging out with my dog Bailey, prank calling big banks, drag racing Subarus, avoiding Twitter.
Humor. It is a difficult concept.
We are introducing New York State Clean hand sanitizer made by the state of New York. It has a very nice floral bouquet, hydrangea, tulips. What does it smell like to you? Tulips, yes.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Does Florida still make cigarettes in the penitentiaries? I'm reminded of that ancient bit of useless knowledge. They used to, by Governor Cuomo's announcement today that New York State is getting into the Purell replacement business. Ugh. All right. 844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. 844-500-4242. And the big story today, of course, is the stock market is having all sorts of palpitations, and it was down the last I checked 2,000 points, and it's more about this ongoing or starting oil price flow war between Saudi Arabia and Russia. Saudi Arabia wanted to cut production, OPEC production, by 1.5 million barrels a day, and Russia, the heavily armed gas station, as we've taken to calling it, can't afford to cut production at all because that's the only export they've got, basically. Not that Saudi Arabia is importing a lot other than fuel oil and some kind of crude oil products. And so Saudi Arabia just got angry at Russia, and also the fact that Russia is in tight with some of the Shiite nations in the Middle East, like, for instance, Iran, like, for instance, Syria, which is dominated by a Shiite offsite, the Alawites. And so they just said, screw it, we're going to take it to Russia. And, it's just kind of, made a mess of the oil prices, which should be a good thing, as Donald Trump said. But then you've also got the coronavirus. And, again, I don't want to say it's a hoax, but how serious is it? I mean, there've been earlier epidemics, if you want to call them that, in recent years that have killed far more people than coronavirus. And when those epidemics took place, there was a Democrat in the White House, and the mainstream media wouldn't dare weaponize an epidemic against a Democrat president. And I think they want to. They do have a vested interest in making this seem as bad as possible. It's a problem, but it's not the end of the world, is it? I mean, come on. 844-500-4242, 508. Was that Tiny Tim in the intro? Who the hell else sings Tiptoe Through the Tulips that you know of? Of course, that was Tiny Tim. And he was there for a reason. It was not a stretch. I mean, Cuomo is introducing a tulip-infused hand sanitizers, he claims. I don't know. 844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. And tomorrow is another round of primaries, and it looks like it's going to be really tough for Bernie to pull out of this one. I thought that he might have a chance in Michigan. He took Michigan in 2016, but I saw a poll today that he's down to Biden by 24 points. And he's picking up a few endorsements here and there. He got Jesse Jackson, which I don't know, maybe means something in Wayne County, Detroit. I don't know.
Jane Fonda.
And then I was going to mention Jane Fonda. I don't think that means anything anywhere. I just don't. But maybe it does. On the other hand, Biden is getting all these endorsements from people who want to be his running mate. And as in cut 4 here, cut 4. All right.
And I said that day, I could not think of a better way to end my candidacy, as hard as that was to do with our beloved staff and everyone else, than to join the Joe Biden.
Oh.
Well, Joe Biden's excuse is he's 115 years old. What is Amy Klobuchar's excuse?
She's just so excited. She can't help herself.
Talk about a Freudian slip. Here, let her try to dig her way out of that hole. Cut 5.
I was going to say, you guys, I was going to say that to join the terrific campaign of Joe Biden.
Who is this Joe Biden person? I thought his name was Joe O'Biden. That's what he said it was the other day. Cut 3.
So, folks, you want to nominate a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an O'Biden-Obama Democrat. Join us.
An O'Biden-Obama Democrat.
Why am I the first O'Biden in 1,000 generations?
An O'Biden Barack America Democrat. Okay, but other times, he doesn't call him Barack America or Barack Obama. He calls him, cut 1.
They're going to have a conversion of the road to Damascus. Because now you say, by the way, are you going to stick with the president on the following president, the last guy on this issue? And just start naming them, whatever it is.
The last guy. I'm not asking for an endorsement from the last guy. And then this was my favorite one of the week and of the weekend. And there were certainly a lot to choose from here. Cut number 2.
Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Yeah, you're right. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Even a broken clock.
So CNN posted 43 minutes of Joe Biden in the show me state of Missouri. Taylor, did you see anything? Was there anything else there of any usefulness for us for chuckles?
No, I mean, there was, he was very, very stoic and on teleprompter. And like you mentioned in your email to me, he didn't like play in like Trump at his rallies. He'll step away from the podium when the crowd is getting excited and he'll let them just take off and carry on. But Joe he was thanking all these aldermen that nobody's ever heard of. And he just kept reading the names.
Yeah, let's play that one then. This is in Missouri again.
Louis Reed, President of St. Louis Board of Aldermen. Darlene Green, Controller. Congressman Russ Carnahan. Let her go. That's okay. That's okay. Former Senator Gene Carnahan, the whole Carnahan family, and dozens of local officials in St. Louis and all around this state.
They need to work on sounding more supportive. He's probably not letting them go, Taylor, because he's probably scared they're booing him.
Well, there were some Let Derry Die people in the crowd.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I thought I heard some more pitchforky sounding voices.
Why is Let Derry Die singling out Uncle Joe? Does he have some kind of
calcium deficiency?
Yeah, or lactose intolerance or what? I mean, why does he get it? Why doesn't Bernie get some of this? Bernie is supported by Ben and Jerry's. You would think that would be after him.
And Bernie's a mooch.
Ha, 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 ha.
Let
Thanks, Taylor.
Derry die. Let Derry die. 844-500-4242. We'll be right back. I'm Howie Carr.
You can call him Fat Boy, just don't call him late for dinner. It's Howie Carr.
This hour of the Howie Carr Show is brought to you in part by Best Western Adams Inn in Quincy. With beautiful views of Boston, waterfront restaurant, banquet facilities, and a great park and fly deal. Book direct by calling 617-328-1500. Mention Howie and save 10%. Here is your last fair warning. This is your last chance to save big. If you haven't called New England Center for Hair Restoration for your $6,000 hair restoration, you better call today or you could miss out. All 40 slots from the original promotion have been filled, and I know there are still some of my listeners out there who could use a great hair restoration at an unbeatable price. You know who you are, and I'm talking to you. What are you waiting for? For the price to go back up? New England Center for Hair Restoration has extended this unbelievable price just for you. So please don't blow your chance. Address the problem and save $3,500 for qualifying patients. Take action. Money doesn't grow on trees. You can't afford not to do this. For those who qualify, third-party financing is available with monthly payments as low as $119. Call 800-313-HAIR for your free consultation. That's 800-313-HAIR. Call 800-313-HAIR or visit 6khair.com. 6khair.com.
He's the co-sponsor of the Green New Deal, so what better time to play some of his greatest hits? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Frosty.
This is going to be a mission to save all of creation. If you want to ignore that these changes are taking place and that they're having a dramatic impact, then you are in the right place.
You know what the winters were like at Plymouth Rock? Do you know what the winters were like at Plymouth Rock, Senator?
Well, here is the thing.
You don't. How long has your family been in Massachusetts?
We are new arrivals. And Mr. President, American history was made last night. The Boston Patriots won the Super Bowl. When the Second Amendment was written in order to maintain a well-regulated militia, they did not have in mind that people could purchase guns indiscriminately. The president is acting like Pontius Pilate.
I'm here with Dr. Bruce Houghton from Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dr. Houghton, tell us about the state-of-the-art procedures that can help many people look 10 to 15 years younger.
As we age, we do lose these proper proportions to our faces. And so if you're deficient in your chin or mid-face, we can create the proper proportions and make you look great. Sometimes we use orthodontics to change the look of the face. Sometimes we just use the teeth themselves and it creates the right support for a beautiful face. They're all non-surgical procedures.
There's some pretty complex cases that you deal with. Give me an example of a tough case.
Well, some cases people just are missing a lot of teeth. I get a lot of people that come in and think think that I cannot solve their problems because they're too great, but I really can. We've been doing this for over 35 years, and there isn't much that we haven't seen.
So even if you're missing a few teeth, or your teeth are discolored, or you're very embarrassed, there's no reason not to come in for a consultation, right?
Absolutely. New techniques, new technology, things are available to us that we never had before, and we can handle just about everything.
Where can people find you?
So you can find us at perfectsmiles.com or call 844-A-PERFECT-SMILE.
And now, an interview with the Emperor of Hate, Howie Carr.
If you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would you say?
Get a state job, because behind the job comes the pension.
What's the best advice anyone's ever given you?
Most advice is pretty forgettable.
What's the best money you've ever spent?
The investment I made to leave the corporate radio prison I was in, the worst people I ever worked for, no doubt about it. I'd probably be dead if I were still working for them.
If you were on a deserted island and you could only bring 3 things, what would you bring?
A radio, a Wi-Fi system, obviously, and a computer, and I would bring some books. Don't ask me which books, too hard a question.
What was your dad's job when you were growing up?
My dad worked as a resort hotel manager. He worked in Florida at the Breakers in the winter, and then he worked at the Mountain View House, as it was called, in Whitefield, New Hampshire, and various other places.
This is Kevin from Brockton.
This is Karen from Boiling Springs, South Carolina.
This is Officer Mark calling from beautiful Stratford County, New Hampshire. And this is the Howie Carr Show.
Because they invaded another country and annexed a significant portion called Crimea. He's saying that it was President, my boss, it was his fault.
President, my boss.
He was my favorite president.
Okay, President, my boss. What is the History Channel going to have a special on him, or we're out of President's Month though, so I guess we'll have to wait until next year for the special on President, my boss. Don't miss out on free meat from Butcher Box. Get $20 off your first box plus 2 pounds of delicious, grass-fed, organic, free-range, hormone-free ground beef in every box for the life of your subscription when you sign up today at butcherbox.com/Howie. If you don't want to leave the house for whatever reason right now, and you still want to get the best food available, go to butcherbox.com/Howie. You can have everything delivered right to your door. You don't have to leave your house to get the best meat available. Taylor, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
What are you more concerned about, coronavirus or the economy?
The economy, by far.
Yeah, by far. So says our poll. 90% say the economy.
Yeah. I mean, again, I feel bad for the people that are going to be stuck on those cruise ships that are going to be quarantined. I feel bad for the people who try to sell trips on cruise ships. I feel bad for.
I think that'll be our poll question tomorrow. Would you buy like a 75% off cruise ship deal now?
You know this cryo place I go to in Boca on it's in a strip mall, and you know what's next to it, Taylor?
Travel place?
A cruise ship. A cruise ship company. You know what I found the last few days I've been there? Plenty of parking. Cool. Plenty of parking.
All quiet on the Western Front.
There's nobody there. I don't understand it. There's nobody going into the cruise ship shop. Did you see anybody today, Grace?
No, I'm on the same page as you, though. I do feel bad for people's livelihood who are affected by it. It stinks. I mean, but you also can't blame people for not wanting to go on. There's horror stories coming out of those quarantine cruise ships. They're saying they're fighting over rotten food and all sorts of stuff.
No, I mean, I told you I went out on a gambling boat cruise one night when they were running them out of Gloucester, I guess it was, and 3 hours I felt like, Gilligan's Island, the 3-hour tour that went on for 3 years. It's just horrible. I mean, I can't imagine being quarantined somewhere. I'd hate to be Ted Cruz and Congressman Gosar. They can't leave their dwellings for 2 weeks. That sucks.
Who were you on the cruise? Were you Gilligan? Were you the captain?
I'm the captain.
Okay.
Skipper.
Of course, I'm the skipper.
Sure.
844-500-4242. Jim, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Howie, I'm wondering if information about Nancy Pelosi's son. He seems to be involved with some kind of an oil company in Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't know how he's involved exactly. I mean, a lot of people are involved in Ukraine, and there are other people that are involved with Biden. Kerry's stepson, by Teresa Hines and her husband, the late senator. He was involved in one of those things. I guess he got out of it. And then one of the Bulgers was involved in something too. James Bulger, the namesake of Whitey Bulger, the nephew of Whitey Bulger. I don't understand all these people that are involved in it. By the way, though, did you hear the Pelosi quote this week? Not this week, today. She was at Northeastern. Did you hear this, Jim? Have you heard this?
No, I didn't.
Listen,
Not yet.
Listen to this. Cut 22.
My view, civilization as we know it is at stake.
Civilization as we know it is at stake in this election. That's what she says.
She might be right.
I think in a very different way though than she is predicting though, Jim. You know what I mean? I agree. She may be right. Thanks for the call. 844-500-4242. Bob, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, Howie, listen, Amy Klobuchar, she sounds like she smoked a pack of cigarettes, drank 4 whiskey. She sounds just like Fran Drescher.
I know who Fran Drescher is, but I don't know the voice that well. Grace said she kind of hears it in her voice as well.
If you know the name Fran Drescher, how do you not know her voice?
I just know that she was married to a guy who was ran for the Senate in Massachusetts, and I believe is running for the Senate again in Massachusetts this year. You didn't know that? Did you know that?
No. Who pays attention to Fran Drescher anymore?
I certainly know I don't. I just read the quote about her marriages, and she mentioned this marriage to this guy that's running for the Senate in Massachusetts. Let's hear the cut one more time, just in case. Cut 4.
And I said that day, I could not think of a better way to end my candidacy, as hard as that was to do with our beloved staff and everyone else, than to join the Joe Biden.
Fran Drescher, I believe the nanny was a little faster on her feet than Amy Klobuchar was. Again, you wonder about these people. This woman, she said she was the Midwestern nice, and she'd won 3 statewide races in Minnesota, a purple state, and she was just so talented as a politician. And then she goes all Biden on us. 844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr. Did you already blow it on your New Year's resolution? Didn't stick to that trendy new diet plan? Stop the roller coaster and get the weight off for good. People still say to me, wow, Howie, you look really great with all that weight off. But it's a lot more than looking better. It really is about feeling better, too. For me, it's about not having to wear a CPAP mask in order to sleep through the night. I'm able to go on bike rides every day. Sometimes I go on 2 or 3. I have much lower blood pressure, a lot more energy. I still eat what I want to eat, but unlike before the sleeve, now I don't overeat. Get the weight off for good. Call Newton Wellesley Weight Loss Center. Call 617-243-3724 or go to nwh.org/weight loss. Don't procrastinate any longer. Whatever your age, whatever your gender, do it. Call 617-243-3724 or go to nwh.org/weight loss.
Joe Biden might be running for president in 2020, so we should play some of his greatest hits.
Barack and I finally reduced the disparity in sentencing, which we've been fighting to eliminate, in crack cocaine versus powder cocaine. It was a big mistake when it was made. We were told by the experts that crack, you never go back. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. If there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony, put that double-barrel shotgun, and fire 2 blasts. They're going to put you all back in chains. Give me a break. That's a bunch of malarkey.
The 3-letter word, jobs. Jobs. Jobs.
One man stands ready to deliver change we desperately need. A man I'm proud to call my friend. A man who will be the next president of the United States, Barack America.
John, what happened at Perfect Smiles when you went?
The initial consultation was easy. In the past, they just hand me a clipboard to fill out the forms, but that's not how it worked at Perfect Smiles. What was nice was it was a true consultation. They asked me my medical history or what I wanted to get out of the treatment plan. For me, I lived with TMJ. I'd literally have to crack my jaw throughout the day to relieve the pressure. I'd get headaches throughout the day. I'd be in pain. When I was at Perfect Smiles, they asked me what I wanted to get out of the treatment. As a joke, I just said, geez, I'd love you to be able to fix my TMJ. And I was surprised because Dr. Houghton specializes in working with patients like me that have TMJ.
What were the results of visiting Dr. Houghton at Perfect Smiles?
Not only did I walk out of that office with a perfect smile, but he fixed my TMJ. It was a life-changing event. People tell me now that my smile is amazing. People would say, geez, John, your teeth look so great. I never realized my teeth looked so bad before. Now I take a look at the before and after pictures and I'm amazed.
Go to Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire, or visit their website, perfectsmiles.com.
And now, an interview with the Emperor of Hate, Howie Carr.
Would you say you're more like your mom or your dad?
No, I don't think I ended up being like either of them, now that I think about it. My mother worked hard, but she never really learned how to make a lot of money, and my father didn't work so hard, but he had a good personality. He was good with people. He was better than me with people. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like either one of them, I don't think.
Did you have any siblings?
Yes, I have a brother, a younger brother.
What was your favorite subject in school?
Well, all kinds of history. I loved all kinds of history.
If you could have 3 houses besides the ones you already have, anywhere in the world, where would they be?
I wouldn't mind having another house in Palm Beach on Clark Avenue. Maybe a place in southern Maine. I don't need a third place.
Didn't you already have a house in Maine?
I did. It was on an island. It was not a good fit for the mailroom manager.
I've heard the house was haunted. Is that true?
Yes. And, my wife didn't really care that much for my relatives.
They're outlandish, they're outrageous, and they're hypocrites. They're the women of The View.
Bernie was so menschy in that moment, like a real guy. I actually am aroused by him.
Timothy McVeigh was a Christian. Just saying.
Hitler was a Christian.
Well, he didn't like the Catholics.
Trump needs to be medicated and hospitalized at this point, or he is going to just kill all of us.
I mean, do we have to wait till the hammer and sickle is on the American flag before we stand up to this guy?
Joy, you've worn blackface.
I did not go in blackface, please.
No, she was not in blackface.
Thank you.
It was a Halloween party. I went as a beautiful African woman.
You have tanning lotion on?
A little. I had makeup that was a little bit darker than my skin.
I'm hoping Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. She's a hell of a doctor. Whoopi, you said that Roman Polanski, it wasn't rape. I know it wasn't rape.
Child molest, maybe? I'm not sure.
It was something. It was something else, but I don't believe it was rape.
Oh, no.
We're coming back.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
You're back.
844-500-4242. That's the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. And if you're thinking, why is the press so hysterical about this? I mean, you're saying, why aren't they trying to disguise their hysteria, their glee about the fact that they think somehow that I don't think they're necessarily gleeful that people are sick or quarantined, stuck in their houses, but they are gleeful that it could hurt President Trump. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Who can dispute that, really? So Dr. Drew Penske who's now talking about running against Adam Schiff out in California, out in the Burbank district in Southern California. He's talking about just how irresponsible the media have been in this. Cut 20.
A bad flu season is 80,000 dead. We've got about 18,000 dead from influenza this year. We have 100 from corona. Which should you be worried about, influenza or corona? 100 versus 18,000. Right. It's not a trick question. And look, everything that's going on with the New York cleaning the subways and everyone using Clorox wipes and get your flu shot, which should be the other message, that's good. Yeah. That's a good thing. So I have no problem with the behaviors. What I have a problem with is the panic and the fact that businesses are getting destroyed and people's lives are being upended, not by the virus, but by the panic. The panic must stop. And the press, they really somehow need to be held accountable because they are hurting people.
But now let me just play a couple of cuts here, and you can see, and they're all from the usual suspects here. This first one is going to be from F. Chuck Todd, again, former Democrat operative, code holder to Tom Stolen Valor Harkin, this former senator from Iowa. His wife made $3 million off of Bernie Sanders last year. He used to be Amy Klobuchar's landlord. I mean, he's practically, Bobby Baker, if that name rings a bell. I mean, Bobby Baker was this landlord and hustler in the Washington scene, a swamp creature from the 40s on. Finally went to prison. I don't think Chuck Todd's going to go to prison, but he's just an insider, and that now he's just gleeful at this. Cut 16.
The Iran hostage crisis was the final year of Carter's presidency. Not his fault, but it's a test in real time. And this is what seems to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing.
So, but is it really Trump's Iran hostage crisis, or is it his Katrina? That's the other thing. We won't listen to all of this. Just get the flavor. Cut 15.
I was thinking about this in terms of politics, right? We talked about the business community finally not kind of sticking with Donald Trump. But this may be, and Nicole, I should mention this with little trepidation, but this may be Donald Trump's Katrina.
Yeah, you can have to trepidation because of my role in that. I mean, let's just lean into that for a minute. I mean, Katrina was the moment.
You get the pick. Is it his Katrina or is it his Iran hostage crisis? Which is it? Is it his Benghazi? Oh no, we can't say Benghazi because we covered up Benghazi for my boss, President My Boss, and Hillary, right? 844-500-4242. Lawrence, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Howie, I just had Democrats try to tell me how bad a job Vice President Pence is doing, and I shut him up with 3 quick points. I said, 1, he was the governor of a significant state, Indiana. 2, he was elected, and elections have consequences. And 3, 5 weeks ago, you tried to make him president of the United States.
Yeah, that is. I think the third one is the most telling point of all, Lawrence. Yeah, he was totally qualified to be president 5 weeks ago, and now he's just a Bendel stiff. It's a really good point. Thanks for the call. 844-500-4242. And so now we come to another Democrat operative here. Okay, Jake Tapper. He's even higher up in the La Cosa Democrata Nostra than Chuck Todd is. He's a made member of the Clinton crime family, right? Former code holder flack for Chelsea Clinton's mother-in-law, a congresswoman from Philadelphia who was married to a crooked congressman from Iowa who went to prison for bank fraud and still owes $10 million.
But besides all that,
he's really on the up and up.
Right.
Yeah. He's a very reputable guy. So anyway, so of course Tapper, being a Democrat operative with a press pass, has to go after Trump's Surgeon General. Of course, this guy's name is Jerome Adams. He doesn't have the credentials that Dr. Jill has, that Whoopi Goldberg wants to make the Surgeon General, or maybe Dr. Bill Cosby, another guy who's got a doctor of education and liked to be called doctor back in the day.
He does have
he
does have one thing they don't have.
What's that?
The title Surgeon General.
That's that's right. Anyway, here's the Surgeon General is giving Jake Tapper. Where did Jake Tapper go to medical school, by the way? I don't believe he never covered a fire, let alone an emergency room on a Saturday night. So here's Jake Tapper getting schooled by the Surgeon General. Cut 14.
Is the president's desire to artificially keep the numbers low by keeping Americans who are off the coast out of the United States? Is that desire impacting health decisions to help save these Americans who have coronavirus or who could possibly have it?
Well, I don't want to play politics here, but I do want to say I've been in the Situation Room every day. When the president comes in, he makes it clear that he wants the best advice from his health experts. As far as the cruise ships are concerned, our priorities are number one, making sure people who are on those cruise ships and who need medical attention can get it. And we've flown people off the ships. We've flown CDC teams into the ships to help. Number two, we want to get people off the ships as quickly and as safely as we can. And number three, we want to protect our communities. And that's a delicate balance that requires the cooperation of many different partners, Department of Defense, Coast Guard, and others. But again, we want to make sure we're taking care of those people on the ship in a way that protects them, but also protects communities.
I understand you don't want to get into politics, but can you assure the American people that decisions are not being made just because the president wants to keep the numbers low as opposed to helping Americans? I mean, that's what he said directly. He doesn't want to bring them in because the number will double.
Wait a second. What does that mean? What does that mean? He wants to keep the numbers low as opposed to dealing with real health. I mean, if fewer people are infected with this flu, isn't that a good thing? And what does that mean? He said earlier at the very beginning, he said, is the president trying to keep the numbers artificially low? What does that mean? Artificially low? You either get it or you don't get it.
Yeah, but
you don't get synthetic coronavirus.
They all come from the Brian Williams School of Math, so their numbers might be different than our numbers.
781 says Jake Tapper did recently suggest this is the golden age of journalism. No, what he meant to say, 781, is this is the golden shower age of journalism. That's how he made it. That's his greatest moment in journalism, when he promoted the fake golden showers in January of 2017 for I think 4 hours straight. Totally defunct Russian collusion hoax. 844-500-4242. Joe, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Howie, longtime listener, huge fan, calling from Maine. I just want to say here, I know you've touched on this. All this is another thing that the left needs to cling on to, because they have nothing to go against Trump in these debates. It's just another thing that they're going to throw out there, try to blame him or, how he's handling it. It's conspiracy theory, but it's completely, after what we've seen them do the past handful of years here, I wouldn't put it past them.
I know it's like the old saying, any port in the storm. This is the port right now for the Democrats, coronavirus. The storm may be over tomorrow, and they'll just be looking for a new place, a new port in the storm. But that's all this is. They're you're right. They're desperate here. And do you realize how many hours it took this morning for them to admit that a lot, if not most of this market pullback is due to the oil price shock, of the prices going down? I mean, how crazy is it though that when the prices go up, the stock market has a heart attack. When the prices go down, now the stock market is having another heart attack. And in the 70s, we had the economy had a heart attack because we were so dependent on foreign oil. Now we are less dependent on foreign oil than we've been in 60, 70 years. We're the net largest producer of energy in the world. And when Saudi Arabia cuts the prices again, the economy, if not, I don't know if it's a heart attack, but it's a, what did they call it when Bernie had that problem?
A heart event.
A heart event. A setback, shall we say.
If Obama was president and the numbers were high, you know what they would actually be?
What?
Unexpectedly high.
That's right. There'd be people with pom-poms on CNBC, and they'd be going, do you know what this means? Going into the summer season, the price of gas is going up, going down. Give me an O, give me a B, give me an A. You know what else this means? Mortgage rates are coming down. Give me a B, give me an A, give me an R. That's what they would be saying. But this could be Trump's Katrina and the Iranian hostage crisis and Pearl Harbor and the bombing of Fort Sumter all rolled into one, and the burning of the White House during the War of 1812. It could be everything. It could be disaster for the Republicans on November the 3rd. Yay! Talking about erectile dysfunction isn't easy. Usually we just brush it off or blame ourselves, saying things like, I lost my mojo, or we avoid it altogether with excuses like, I had a long day at work, or sorry, honey, I'm just not feeling it tonight, or maybe tomorrow I'm really beat after working today at the office so hard. But with Roman, it is easy to talk about it with a real doctor who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. The doctor will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. No awkward visits to the physician's office or to the pharmacy to pick up your prescription. And if you get started today, you'll have your prescription by Friday. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to getroman.com/Howie and complete an online visit. Erectile dysfunction used to be tough to tackle, but now there's Roman. Complete an online visit today to connect with a doctor and take care of it. Just go to getroman.com/Howie to get a free online visit and free 2-day shipping. That's getroman.com/Howie for a free visit to get started. getroman.com/Howie. I'm Howie Carr.
Don't touch that dial. Howie Carr will be back after this.
This hour of the Howie Carr Show is brought to you in part by Nauset Beach Inn. Go to nausetbeachinn.com and click on special offers. Use promo code CAPE for the $100 room special.
They're outlandish, they're outrageous, and they're hypocrites. They're the women of The View.
Bernie was so menschy in that moment, like a real guy. I actually am aroused by him.
Timothy McVeigh was a Christian. Just saying.
Hitler was a Christian.
Well, he didn't like the Catholics.
Trump needs to be medicated and hospitalized at this point.
Before we stand up to this guy.
Joy, you've worn blackface.
I did not go in blackface, please.
No, she was not in blackface.
Thank you.
It was a Halloween party. I went as a beautiful African woman.
Do you have tanning lotion on?
A little, I had makeup that was a little bit darker than my
I know it wasn't rape.
Child molest, maybe? I'm not sure.
It was something else, but I believe it was rape.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm here with Dr. Bruce Houghton from Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. You get a lot of patients, I'm sure, who
smile looks, and we really make them look natural, but very, very pleasant.
People are concerned. They wonder, at my teeth, do I really want to put caps on?
Exactly. Yeah, they think they'll have that Hollywood look or fake look, but the technology that we have available and the artistry that we can create now really makes things so natural. 844-A-PERFECT-SMILE.
Here's Donald Trump Jr. proving once and for all the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
They hate Trump more than they love America. For them to try to take a pandemic and seemingly hope that it comes here and kills millions of people so that they could end Donald Trump's streak of winning. I don't know if this is coronavirus or Trump derangement syndrome, but these people are infected badly. To make this guy into a religious scholar, that's like saying Jeffrey Dahmer is a purveyor of organic and fine exotic meats. Adam Schiff is basically the Jussie Smollett of Congress, on steroids. Children are off limits. Remember this one? If 13-year-old Barron Trump is not off limits, Hunter Biden sure as is not off limits. Because my name is Trump, if I took $1.5 from China, not $1.5 billion like Hunter, their heads would explode.
Who was your favorite Democrat? Go ahead.
Mitt Romney, Gail. Mitt Romney's my favorite Democrat. How about that? Please, Lord, in my next life, make me a leftist so I can say anything and get away with it.
This is Deb in Danielson, Connecticut.
This is Greg in Boston, Mass.
This is Elizabeth in Wakefield, Massachusetts, and this is the Howie Carr Show.
1-844-500-4242. That's the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. And Nancy Pelosi, by the way, prefers to vote for a woman. 10.
I'll just say, just generally, I usually always cast my vote for a woman. I just do.
That's why she voted for McKitt as opposed to